So they're using the post, and then if the switch occurs, they're able to get a look, but they don't get it into Lawson.
Haynes from outside. This is a 3. Crosier has the rebound. Hands to Abdullah. 3:45 remaining in the first half. Phelps loses it out of bounds. We have a timeout coming your way with 3:45 to play in the first half. 31-18 Providence. Villanova still shooting under 20% and 31-18. This authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. I'm John Sanders along with Billy Raftery. I want to get your reaction to the expansion announcement this week.
Everybody's waiting for what I think, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I thought it was inevitable. Just a matter of some personalities and some people offended maybe at things slipping away, but that's the nature of that industry right now, and it dictates football has an impact on your program. I think it's a good thing for those schools that do not have football.
Kittles from outside. That is his second first half field goal. Back to that 11-point lead. It's been this way for about the last 10 minutes.
A good sign for Villanova, though, that he is out now, getting some decent.
Michael Brown. Abdullah.
Goodness. That crow flies. That bench gets a lot deeper.
A good move by Crosier, and we have seen the Friars take it right to the hole on numerous occasions.
Well, the opening is there because of the aggressive style of D. You know, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. They've got to get after it and then react in a bunch. Oh, my goodness.
A 3-second violation. Well, we've had the 5-second call. We've had a 3-second violation. We've had everything so far.
Get the rule books away from these fellas, right? And Lapp is trying to use great self-control. You know who's had a terrific influence on him? Hank Nichols. He used to be a wild guy because of the aggressive style of D. You know, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. They've got to get after it and then.
That's a 3.
That's his game. Well, the coming of age, Rick Barnes has been ballyhooing his ability all year long, starting to exhibit it.
That is the first 3-pointer by either team. Here's Kittles inside.
Not giving up anything for granted as Mike check. Pursuit. They take away the dribble baseline right here. Look at the assistance by Crosier and closing quickly. You don't want to let a guy get it up on the glass. And Machek, guys nowadays foul and they enjoy it as long as they got a block.
There's Phelps back in. Zielinski has 3 fouls here in the first half. Ebers has been on the Villanova bench most of this first half with 3 fouls. Lawson to the line. Second in the Big East in blocks, and this combination of Wilson and Lawson making Villanova the best in blocking shots.
And that's why they trap a little, because you get the great angle by your big guys. The last line of defense is the 6'10", 6'11" people.
Villanova is 10 for 10 from the line. Lawson has 6. Lawson to the line. Second in the Big East in blocks, and this combination.
Gonna have to continue playing sound basketball. Good help, and they got Hayes with the shove, but you notice how Phelps made the bounce pass. That's what impresses me with this team. You got Brown, Abdullah, and Phelps, who are good post passers.
Steve Lapis continues to do his laps in front of the bench.
Well, if you don't have guys who can get it in, it could be post-mortem. Got good people on the box. They don't get a touch. It's a wasted trip.
Williams at the line, 2 of 4 so far this afternoon. We've just begun.
Abdullah and Phelps, who are good post passers.
Steve Lapis continues to do his laps in front. Williams has 9 points. Michael Smith leads the scoring for Providence. He has 13 in the first half. Haynes spins away from Abdullah and lost it. Never really got his body under control.
No,
good move by Abdullah. Crosier takes it inside. Here he comes. Scores.
What is going on? Barnes keeps telling me how good he. Notre Dame, he had a good one.
A 17-point lead. That's the biggest of the half. 39-22, and Crosier has 9 from out of nowhere.
Well, you figure the dunk the three, and then the penetration. And they got a good job. He's there, get it in. That's,
and it rattles out.
Story of the half.
Here's Williams, too strong as he tried to power it off the glass, and coming in late is Crocier. He'll pick up the foul.
Did he pay for a tardy visit? Oh, he ran the floor. Thought he would get a chance at a dunk.
Picks up number 2. 1:09 to play, and you see Williams limping just a bit as he comes back up court. Little grimace on his face out of Vincennes, Indiana Junior College.
And a local guy at Shabazz, and you see that finger, looks like Yogi Berra with the jam finger. And Rick Barnes was telling me during the year how painful that has been. A lot of guys couldn't play with that.
His game, despite the injured finger, has just gotten better as the year's gone along.
Well, also when you're a JC transfer, he said, I've only got a certain amount of games left. I'm going to reach back a little bit.
Crocier with a rebound. The Friars doing well, minus Michael Smith. He's been on the bench for much of the last few minutes.
And because of Crocier, they can rest him, maneuver the lineup a little bit.
Williams makes a good catch. He could go and get it. They reset with 13 on the shot clock. We're in the final minute of the opening half. There's the trap. Phelps on the wing for 3. Williams tries to go up with a foul. Minus Michael Smith. He's been on the bench for much of the last few minutes.
And because of Crocier, they can rest him, maneuver the lineup a little bit.
Williams makes a good catch. He could go and get it. They reset with 13 on the shot clock. We're in the final minute of the opening half. There's the trap. Phelps on the wing for 3. Williams tries to go up with a foul alongside assistant coach John Pannone.
Well, stealing the clock, that's what they're trying to do. Get through these last few minutes with only 35 left within hailing distance because of that liability. Particularly Eberts. I mean, he would open it up a little, give a little more post activity for Lawson.
How about these numbers for Crocier? 10 points, 6 rebounds. His season average is 3 points and 1 rebound.
I hope they're watching it.
40-23, back to the 17-point difference. That's the biggest lead of the half, and we're in the final 25 seconds.
Well, they got Crocier trying to get through.
That'll be number 3 on Austin Crocier. Lawson will go to the line. Lawson, one of the Philadelphia recruits. He was considered a top 20 pick in the country. Coming to Villanova along with Alvin Williams. First time in 20 years that they have recruited from Philadelphia.
And they were interested in Rasheed Wallace and opted for Carolina. I just like this potential here. And they say his work habits are real good. And defensively just read situations and eventually will not foul. And also will get the physical as the years go on.
Yes, he will. They'll get better. The third team in his first year misses both at the line. And the Friars will get the last shot.
A chance. Good stand by Villanova now, important, and everybody's got to think rebound if you're a cat.
And right now the Friars really have the court spread out for Abdullah.
Might end up with a jumper in the corner if he can get turned the corner.
Phelps down the lane, gliding, can't hit, follow, no good, tipped up again. And finally Wilson drags it out of there. We have finished the first 20 minutes. The Friars fell behind 2-0 and then really turned on the Jets, and they'll head to their locker room comfortably in front by 17. It's 40-23. We'll start our halftime coverage from Madison Square Garden. Dave Sims in the studio after a word from your local station. The second half of today's tournament. We are back in Madison Square Garden, midway through quarterfinal game number 1 of the 1994 Big East basketball tournament. The Friars up by 17 at intermission. I'm John Sanders along with Philly Raftery, and statistically a miserable start shooting the basketball for the Wildcats.
Got to shoot the threes, got to make the low post opportunities, and they had ample chances down low.
You look at the rebounding edge for Providence. We expected it, but they have certainly been dominant.
They can be awesome. We all know the physical dimension, but the heart to get rebounds as well.
And a couple of good first-half moves along the baseline by number 34.
Not lacking aggression with that pursuit, and just a great step-up game by this young man, Austin Crocier, who knocked the three, dribbled, and jammed one home.
10 points for him in the first half. Michael Smith had 13. Lawson leads Villanova with 8. But the missing piece of the Villanova puzzle was Eric Ebers, who spent most of the first half on the bench with 3 fouls. And Kerry Kittles didn't score until about 4.5 minutes left in the half and wound up with only 5.
Yeah, well, he had that slashing move and then a jumper facing the goal. But you're right, Ebers has to open things up again so they can get the low post passes, and now you got to convert, which they haven't been able to.
Villanova will have the basketball first as we start the second half. Inbounding right in front of our broadcast position here at Madison Square Garden. And happy to have you with us this afternoon. Load up on the pretzels and chips. We've got a lot more to come. UConn will follow against St. John's. Foul immediately on Wilson's turnaround. He's going to put Michael Smith in some foul trouble.
They went right through it. Well, they know they were getting the entry passes early, and now it's just the hope as Lapis turns to his staff, hey, we got to knock some down. And Wilson gets ridden out, but still didn't convert. Got to finish.
Villanova made its first 11 free throws, missed their last 3 of the half. Wilson getting his chance, and he missed it. Just 1 basket for Wilson, a redshirt junior out of Cardinal Gibbons High School in Raleigh. He averages only 5 points a game. Scoring is not his forte.
And this particular stroke, a good one, but around 60, that's got to get better.
40-24, the first point of the second half goes to Villanova. Abdullah running the offense. Michael Smith. Lawson on him, hands to Brown. And right now Ebers is trying to guard Simpkins with a tall order.
Just going to say, look at they get it to the other guy because of a terrific defensive job on the one side.
The largest lead of the game now at 42-24. The Wildcats need to run.
They keep using the bodies to keep the big guys away from the 10.
Haynes goes inside. Wilson too strong with the jump hook. Almost got it back. Lawson has it. Now Haynes. Ebers for 3.
They need a little light. That may help them. A second chance and then a kick out.
The first 3-pointer of the game for Villanova, and it comes from Ebers. Here's that pass going right into the hands of Kittles from Abdullah. And he takes it all the way.
One play by Smith, too, running out and making sure he didn't foul. But I wonder who that pass was to.
It was to Kittles, obviously.
Unfortunately, he's got a different color shirt on. You're looking for some life into Villanova, and they've gotten it on the offensive end. A little play by Kittles on the defensive end. A little spurt right now, and Providence, on the other hand, I think has to go low, young man. Get the big guys a touch on the block.
It's 42-29. Picked up his 3rd foul. Simpkins on the perimeter. We played 2 minutes. Williams spins down the lane. That shot is blocked. Wilson got a piece of that. Lawson finds Kittles.
Got to respect the team.
Here he comes. Spins it up and in.
Not the least bit of room to get. I mean, he's thin, but challenges and the push devastating.
And the Friars take a timeout thanks to an 8-2 run. Back with more after this word from US Air. The Wildcats making a little run at Providence right now with 17:54 left in the game, and this is our MCI proof positive replay.
And not the kind of play that you would like seeing if you're Rick Barnes and staff, turning back into the D and it ignites the catch. And this Kittle has a feel. I mean, he knew he just had to get it up and it would go.
Very quiet in the first half, but he's off and running in the second half. The Friars have called the timeout. Each team has 2 remaining. Here's Brown off the screen, misses the shot, and Evers has it go off his hand out of bounds. 42-31. This is as close as the Wildcats have been in a while. They open up an 8-2 run to start the second half.
Well, John, they've limited the touches on the box. They've been forcing an outside game, Villanova.
Smith out on the perimeter.
Good job by Wilson.
Here comes Brown. That's blocked. Lawson got that one out of there, but Williams got it back. He'll give it up to Smith.
And they had a reset, too, which wasn't necessary. They put it back to 35.
17 points for Michael Smith. Well above his average already. He's averaging 13 a game. Kittles along the perimeter. Lawson with a rebound. Finally goes back up and will go to the line.
Vic Williams with the swipe. Heck of a pass along the baseline, and a little juice in the Cats' approach right now.
That is the first foul on Williams. When you check the Ford scoreboard, Maryland and Virginia in the ACC quarterfinal. How about the Southeastern Conference? Number 17 Florida. They finally had a very good year.
They have been solid. Beat Kentucky at home and Missouri.
That's one of the most amazing stories of college basketball, is Missouri going undefeated through the Big East Big 8 regular season.
Norm Stewart, as somebody said, if they get to the Final Four, he's considered retiring. I said that my first year.
Lawson hits at the line. He's been strong at the foul line. That's where most of his scoring has come. He's made 7 of 9, make it 8 of 10. And he's in double figures. The freshman from Olney High School in Philly, 44-33. Providence with the lead and the ball. The Friars have led most of the way.
Once again, forcing it out, not giving that entry pass.
Wow, off the glass, no good. Evers just taps it to Kittles. Dickie Simpkins winds up on his backside. And he gets back into it defensively.
Erk's got to relax Williams.
Haynes for 3. A foul is called underneath on Wilson or Williams. It's going to be on Eric Williams. He'll pick up his second here in the second half.
Eric Williams on the offensive end also taking some questionable deliveries, and it ignites the club. And right now you can see things swinging in Villanova's favor if they could make the inside post moves.
Williams is going to sit for a minute. We've got too many Friars out there. Somebody has to go.
Some nights, that's the way it looks. Too many Friars and not enough prayers, huh?
That's right. Here's Haynes in the corner. Picked up by Abdullah. 16:20 to go in the game. Kittles flashing down the lane. Three-pointer. Nothing but net. Kittles hits his first tray. The Wildcats are down by just 8. They have quickly cut the lead in half. Here's Simpkins in the lane. Turnaround jumper. Good.
Nice job. Both the pass and the ability of Simpkins to turn away from the traffic.
The difference is 10 right now. 46-36. 15:50 remaining in the game. Quarterfinal number 1. This 1994 Big East tournament.
See what Kittles does, though. He drags his guy away to open up things inside.
And Evers misses the 3. Smith a rebound.
Good job. Get those 2 on the same side with Lawson.
Michael Smith now on the perimeter. On the shot clock.
Tough match here.
Abdullah finds Smith up off the glass and in.
And he came right back into Lawson, too, trying to initiate the contact.
19 for Smith. The lead is 12. The closest the Cats have been is 8.
He will step in by Phelps. Good clubs take advantage of matchups, as Providence did at the other end with the dribble, particularly Abdullah, who will find some people, and Eberts here, who's learned to use that bounce to his benefit.
And if you're Villanova, When you lose this game, Billy, then the question marks really begin.
Of course, a great run late. Early on, if you said, hey, NIT, there'd be a lot of smiles. You get greedy.
Haynes in the lane. It spins out. Simpkins the rebound. Friars have the lead. Here's Abdullah all the way down. Gives it up to Smith through his hands to Phelps.
Got to contain the dribbler, Abdullah, the king going through.
Brown at the foul line. Good. That was a pretty good set that time.
Sure was. Patience. Got a good 15-footer. Rick Barnes said we're going to roll the table at the end of the year. They sure did. On a tear. This club a different look right now than early in the season.
And of course, most of that success coming at home. They are just dynamite in the Civic Center. Lawson has the follow, and it won't go. How about this one? Yes.
He has had some chippies today.
A dozen for Lawson. 50-38. On the perimeter, it's Brown. Works to the baseline. Gives it up to Simpkins. Powers his way. Oh, and look at Smith follow.
A climber.
21 for Michael Smith.
With an assist from Simpkins. Getting him airborne. That's where they're awfully tough. When they come at you with numbers in there.
Every place you look, when you're inside, there's somebody with a white shirt on. Kittle's quickly turning and missing the three. Good rebound by Wilson. Haynes will try a three. Brown the rebound.
And they ignite fast breaks when they don't go down. Those long rebounds. Or free.
Here's Phelps down the lane. I think he was trying to pass it. It was knocked out of bounds.
Not a bad idea. I agree with you. Phelps with the defense has softened, but here you get some partners. Simpkins back up. You know you're going to miss on that kiss. But Michael Smith, he's a man.
Having a big afternoon for Rick Barnes with 13:06 to play. It's 52-38. Evers will sit down. Roscoe Harris returns.
Well, an easy look on the inbounds earlier. Villanova jammed it up beautifully.
Shot clock at 15 now.
1-4, dribble by.
And Abdullah goes up with the shot. He'll go to the line. That might be the first or second shot he's taken today.
He'll only take it when you give everything else up. All the options are taken away. And he doesn't have a bad little stroke.
Well, the Friars certainly love the home court. It has been so kind to them this year. Look at those numbers. 14-1 at the Civic Center. One of those was technically not a home game, the Rhode Island game, but they have struggled away from home.
But in the Civic Center, nevertheless.
And, of course, that's where Rick Barnes' team was for that closing run at the end of the season.
Now, you say that like it's easy on the road. I mean, when the bus driver doesn't say hello to you.
That's right.
The people in the hotel, they're only happy when you pay your bill. Then you got to go out and play a good team in a unfriendly confines.
Here's Lawson inside with a miss. Of course, they did win at Villanova. They started with that road trip to Pittsburgh and Villanova, and they were hoping to get two. They got one. Here's Brown.
Nice check out by Wilson.
And Wilson has the rebound. 54-38. The Friars on a 10-2 run right now. Knocked away, but Lawson saves it. And Brown off his body and out of bounds.
Pretty active, aren't they? Harassing the pass to the post, playing passing lanes.
That's why I think that if they get in the NCAA tournament, that they can be pesky.
Very tough out. And if anybody starts struggling, although Coach Shear gives them an inside deep shooter, if any of the guards step up like a Phelps, watch out.
They have not needed it. Crozier in the second half. Kittles for his three. Won't get the roll. Knocked out of bounds. And it'll stay at this end of the court. 12:05 remaining in the game. The Friars 54. The Wildcats 38. Along with Billy Raftery, I'm John Sanders, and we're just beginning. We've got another one to follow. A look at UConn coming up, and there's Crozier on the bench.
Oh, what a strength. Great footwork.
Now Williams. See the time remaining. We're inside 12.
Good leadership following by Abdullah. He got this whole set organized.
Here comes Simpkins, head down.
Oh, walk. All right, I'll settle for that.
11:43. That's the time left in this one. The Friars have a 16-point lead, and we'll have more basketball after a local Big East station. The first quarterfinal game of this 1994 Big East tournament, dominated right now by Providence because Villanova has missed 8 of its last 9 after making a little run, and we ask you to stick around because we'll have St. John's and the Huskies, the #2 ranked team in the country, top seed in the Big East. Then tonight more. It'll be Seton Hall and Syracuse, followed by Georgetown and Boston College. That should be a dandy. The Hoyas have to win. That's all there is to it, right?
Need one just like this Villanova team, I believe.
Ronnie Perry and Mike Gorman will be here for tonight's game. Billy and I will head elsewhere.
Mike Gorman scouting today. I'm sure Ronnie upstairs someplace as well.
Williams spins, finds Harris. Down the lane he comes. It's knocked away.
The flexibility of Eric Williams. I mean, playing little guys. It does have a little bit of an outside game.
Number 3 on Simpkins. You see Chanel Scott to the right there. And he will stay in those clothes. And Ron Rutledge, longtime assistant.
In a way, their season took a deep turn for the worse when that thumb was injured.
Absolutely. Happened in the pit game.
And when you look at them, though, they've played terrific basketball, showing that the concern and involvement, they wanted to have a little pride down the stretch. And I've had a few of their games. They've given a good accounting of themselves.
1 out of 2 is all for Roscoe Harris. 54-39. The Friars have the lead. This is Michael Brown. Smith pops out.
Getting the easy reverse, not being contested on top.
But he threw that one away. Brown stopped and went right to Evers instead. Kittle spins it up. He likes that shot.
Same kind of shot. He just gets one side of the rim. And as you say, bending.
Bending. Good in that case. 54-41. Kittle's with 14. He's had a good second half. 9 points so far. There's Brown. And the jumper at the foul line to go.
Now, when you get looks like that, the defense is neglecting their responsibilities.
A wide open 15-footer goes down. Deep in the corner for a 3. Harris misses.
Pretty dead.
And Lawson jams.
Roscoe.
14 points now for Jason Lawson. He and Kittle's leading the way for Villanova. The Wildcats still looking for a spurt. They had an 8-2 run to start the second half.
Well,
they need more than that.
I'm sorry, John. It starts on this end, though. I mean, they got to get a little life down here. Look at it again. An easy look.
And the basket. Rock Phelps with his first field goal of the afternoon.
You think he'd stay with that play? Straight away?
Worked pretty well, hasn't it?
Nobody's sliding or switching.
Phelps is just 1 of 8 shooting the ball. Here's Harris. Evers has been quiet, and he throws that one away. Lawson got hung up inside.
That is a leader for you. Numbers not in his favor. Point guard only has to count 1 to 5. Right? Not a difficult thing, but a lot of guys try and overwhelm.
Here's Brown off the feed from Abdullah. 8 for Michael Brown.
And that's what penetration will do. And not a good defense to extend the last few trips for the Cats.
They're going to have to call a timeout. The Wildcats take it with 9:20 to play. Back after this word from your local station.
Abdullah has been able to orchestrate in a beautiful fashion the bounce, a little cross court, but this is another easy look, and that's one of the reasons Rick Barnes guys are shooting so well.
Absolutely. You look at the difference between the season and today for both teams, and here in the second half, the Friars have made 7 of their last 9. They're shooting 60% in the second half. It's a nice, easy 15-footer.
You got to toughen up the D, and they have been neglectful. Villanova in that end. Oh, they got an offense on Lawson on a clear out as Michael Smith tries to step in front, and the Cat bench is not purring with pearls.
That is number 3 on Lawson. We see some pressure now from Villanova. See if they try to squeeze it into a trap. They do. Let the Friars handle that. Dickie Simpkins sneaking into the picture there. He'll return shortly.
A little trap negated. And now they're back into the half-court offense. And as you get into tournament time, you've got to be able to execute on this end. And what better to typify Providence's play with that little low post jump hook.
And they have their largest lead of the afternoon at 62-43. Abdullah takes it away. He's going to reset. Williams a little late getting into the picture. What a ball game for Michael Smith, 23. He was best of the year. His season high is 24.
And you're commenting on Abdullah. He has pulled the string and just done a masterful job getting his club in the right spot.
The junior college All-American at the community college Providence tries the scoop shot. Smith has it rejected. And Lawson emphatically rejecting that shot.
Well, he was happy about it. You need a lot more of them, though. Jason. Well, his talent obvious in this sequence, and the taunting. I'd like to do that when I'm up by 20, I think.
That is the first time that Smith has missed in the game today. They're almost up by 20. I'm talking about the Friars, not the Wildcats. Left hand, and it goes.
He's got some nerve taking shots.
4 points, his first field goal. The lead grows to 21.
Well, you know he's not going to shoot the basketball. If Hayes tees it up deep, he gets the roll. How does he turn the corner if that's the case? You're really not tight on him.
You're right, I don't know.
Hayes gambling for the dribble, play position, containment, defense.
Got his first three-pointer, did Jonathan Haynes. Cutting the 21 swing lead to 18.
Now, you mentioned Michael Smith and his numbers. He just does not take bad shots. Gets in close, knows his game, won't take that big jumper.
That's how you shoot 61% from the field. Abdullah, some trouble, and tied up.
And staying with 2 seconds.
2 seconds on the shot clock, 7:13 on the game clock. You see the possession arrow. Rick Barnes orchestrating a big lead right now on the Ford scoreboard. Virginia.
Surprise, right?
Florida against South Carolina. 6-point lead for the Gators. Just does get the shot off, but the shot clock violation, despite the effort of Michael Smith, turns it back to the Wildcats. Villanova will have it. Now, you're coaching Villanova. How are you going to get him back in this game, Bill?
I have been in this spot, and you know that very well. It's not going to be easy because the defense doesn't seem to have the perk. And the way Abdullah is orchestrating, I mean, this particular guy could help by getting on fire, but they just don't seem to have all the cylinders, do they?
And they're shooting under 30% to the game. That's not going to help.
You got to make them to do your full court stuff, so they're limited to some half-court possibility of some traps.
And the shot that Kittles just took is the kind of shot he usually makes.
And look how flat the defense is. It's backed up all into the 3-second lane.
Here comes Abdullah.
Georges.
Dickie Simpkins with a reverse slam. 8 points, and it's a 20-point ball game.
I bow Abdul. Oh, giving it up in a gorgeous fashion.
Here comes Williams slashing and scoring. He'll go to the line.
And just thinking of what Williams is thinking about. What do I have to do? I got to get a little more opportunity. But this particular play typifying the breakdown of the defense and the extraordinary performance at the point guard position by Abdullah. What Alvin was, when you do it, let me have it a little bit more, and then maybe they ought to ride him.
The three-point play completed by the freshman from Germantown Academy in Philadelphia. 5 points now for Williams. Dickie Simpkins gets it across the timeline. 66-49. And if you're a Friar fan and there was any doubt about your NCAA tournament hopes, this is probably going to lock it up. If you're Villanova, well, it depends on a lot of things. Might depend on what happens to Georgetown tonight.
Depends who wins all their conferences. There's somebody not winning that should, another slip in, that type of thing.
Shot clock at 5 as Abdullah goes inside and will go to the line.
Now that's sort of telltale of the defensive breakdown. You've got to contain the bounce guy, and Steve will look this week at it as they prepare for an NIT game and say, guys, you know, we lost that juice, that fire, and it showed on the defense, exhibited itself on the defensive end.
Well, they had the great February going 8-1, and they did play with enthusiasm, with fire, with a lot of heart. And we have not seen it so far this afternoon.
And John, maybe it was taken away by good play, and that does happen in a game. It's easy to cast aspersions.
It's a good point. 9 assists for Abdullah, and this is a couple at the line. So his point total will stay on 4.
What else do you have to do? Right now, watching pull the string, recognizes the cat D. Now, he won't get an MVP award if we were giving one out, but he deserves one, don't you think?
Yes. He's been terrific. And again, in his senior year, a man coming in from junior college, he's been solid.
Well, you always need an extension on the floor. A guy that echoes what you want. And here's another little easy look. And Jonathan Hayes and Michael Brown just traded air boats.
That's double figures for Brown. Ebers tries to answer. Smith has the rebound. Michael going past 1,000 career rebounds, and he's having a good offensive afternoon with 23. A dozen rebounds. That's what he's averaged in the Big East.
Kingpin on the glass. Doesn't have Buck Williams' game, but mentality. Get everything that comes off.
4:30 to go. 68-49. Strong performance today by the Friars and by that man. Smith is set up by Abdullah. Michael has his biggest game of the year going. That's 25.
Michael, take him to dinner. Please, Abdul set up everything. The silverware, the linen, everything but the tablecloth. Hale and Hardy.
16 now for Jason Lawson. Michael Smith capping a terrific year. Leading the league again in rebounds. It's been his specialty. One of the few mistakes that Abdullah has made. Kittle at the other end. 16 now for Carey.
He is fun on the open floor. With good speed. Finishes beautifully.
Michael Smith. Finds Michael Brown. 15 on the shot clock. 3.5 to go in the game. The first of 4 quarterfinal games here in Madison Square Garden today and tonight. Here comes Abdullah, knocked away from behind, out of bounds.
Think he'll stop reaching for that dribble? They haven't come up with it once, and he's gotten through to the goal.
We have a timeout. More coming up right after this. (70-53) is our score. The Friars comfortably in front. Another MCI proof positive replay coming your way.
And why not have the master of the sleight of hand, Abdullah, the dish, and Dickey with the strong completion.
What a game for Michael Smith. He's 11 of 13. Scramble for the loose ball. Smith has it.
11 of 14. Get him out.
Abdullah with 11 assists. Here's Williams. Fouled by Abdullah, and Smith knocked that one to the photographer section.
And Abdul almost came up with a terrific steal. And look at this.
This is amazing,
Career.
isn't it?
3 straight years.
Special award for him at the luncheon yesterday, too, from Mike Cunningham, the commissioner.
I haven't done anything well for 1 straight year, much less 3.
Williams at the line is 4 for 4 this afternoon.
Well, Michael has to be relieved, I would think. Tried to stay in the middle, let the schools decide which way the conference would go. And no question, he had some ideas of his own. But knowing his position, it wasn't for him to dictate.
No, it was the presidents who made the decision.
And I think it's worked out well, particularly for the basketball schools. I mean, they're in a power league and have a chance to coexist with some mighty fine institutions.
Absolutely. It's still an outstanding basketball league, but in all honesty, it's being driven by football right now. will pick up the foul. It'll be number 3 on the freshman. 2:44 remaining in this one. 70-55. We invite you to stay with us because we have more to come. UConn and St. John's will follow, and truly, those two put on one of the best performances in the Big East this year.
Did you do that game?
Yes, I did that game.
I watched that tape, and it was one. I thought St. John's going to have a heck of a year after that game. So a shot of the Providence bench, Dave Gavitt, Larry Shine, Dennis Feldman.
That would be Danny Gavitt.
Excuse me, did I say Dave?
Yes, you did.
I'm getting old.
That's okay.
Well, Julie will appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
At least you know where he is. He used to sit on that bench quite successfully, I might add.
Here comes Simpkins. That will count. And he goes to double figures with 10.
And Danny Gavitt over there talking to Michael Smith now. I have to check with Danny what he's telling him now with the numbers you just talked about.
Well, you saw that one score from the Southeastern Conference. They're playing that at the Pyramid in Memphis, and the lights went out for 15 minutes during the game. Well, that's the reason that it's been a little slow in coming our way.
I used to pray for that most nights.
Like you used to go turn them out, didn't you?
A hired hand.
11 for Simpkins, 73-55. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the game. And the sizzling finish continues for the Friars. Williams, he's trying to do it all right now.
I like what he's doing. Somebody's got to have a little firepower, a little interest.
He has 9, his season high, 19 against Boston College. The Eagles will play tonight. They'll play the last game, which has to be one of the toughest things to do, isn't it? To wait to play at 9. They were here at 9 this morning. They shot around a bit. Then they went to Columbia to practice, and then they'll play tonight. Probably 9:30 or so before they have to start. Belts in the lane, good shot.
They have owned that area for pull-up jumpers. And when they shoot the ball, they are a level above. That's been a difficulty all season.
Three-pointer is good.
Oh, when you do as well as Villanova did for February, and you're young, you don't know how you got there. And when somebody makes a run at this, Providence is he's not a guy or a thought to turn to. You're relying on the coach. And the psyche is injured. It's very damaging during the course of the game to regroup.
Well, he got off to such a bad start shooting the basketball, and Abdul is just putting on a show right now.
And he doesn't have to do that either. A little rough in on Hayes. Guys got to have pride. And Jonathan chatting with him now. And I don't fault Jonathan either because, have a little dignity with the way you win.
Exactly right. Jonathan, we've all been on the other side of this little coin,
Why did you look at me like that? You're right. Style.
And they're going to take Jonathan out of the ballgame.
Well, Steve Lapis knows his players, and he's had a little fire. I mentioned earlier, he and Michael Brown had got into a little situation. He's disappointed, and that's the reason.
He had come out to the court in one of the timeouts just kind of shaking his head. It goes back to what you said. It's a little bit of a shock for them.
Oh, it is. This is a letdown of a large magnitude.
And Michael Smith will get a partial standing O as he leaves with a dozen rebounds and 25 points. This is his best scoring game of the year.
They get quarter standing O's here because there's 4 teams.
Right.
So only there's 6 stands.
Exactly right.
I was looking down at the...
It might be a little more than that for this second game, though. I think a few folks from UConn will be here, don't you?
The scalpers will be outside with the residue of the tickets left over. Looking at Steve Pinot and John Leonard chatting all Ewan to their guys, particularly Jonathan Hayes. Disappointment and joy in separate shots.
Abdullah, 11 assists and 5 steals. He has directed this show, and it's been a good one. Williams to Lawson. A couple of freshmen teaming up. Good game for Jason Lawson, an 18-point outing. Now, and the good news, he played the whole game, right?
And unfortunately didn't make those early ones. But you mentioned would this be a long-running directorship by Abdullah? We're near Broadway, and Crocier once again going strong into the jump ball.
And I've seen more from him offensively today than any time during the season.
And didn't get any minutes the second half, but
until now
helped push them ahead.
Did in the first half. Final 30 seconds. game 1 of the quarterfinals. Williams for 3. Lawson. Kittles. He looks so smoothly inside.
Finishing strong, gambling right there.
18 for Kittles. Final 15 seconds. Providence will move on. They won last year in the quarterfinals, beat UConn. Could be they'll have to play the Huskies in the semis. And Kittles for the finish. A 20-point ball game for Terry Kittles. The Friars will let it run out. And they will advance to the semifinals for the 2nd straight year. A victory here. 77-66. Providence advances with a win over Villanova. We'll be back with more right after this.